The Hells Angels have traditionally been the most feared of the motorcycle gangs operating in the shadowy underground. Some of the more notorious members who gain notoriety for their vicious methods and illegal acts have been caught and put behind bars. Let's check out the 5 most feared former Hells Angels who are now in prison. Why would a group as powerful as the Hells Angels choose a life behind bars? Starting off with number 5, Raymond Ray. Raymond Ray Folks and Christopher Rainman Ranieri, both members of the Sonoma County chapter of the Hells Angels, were found guilty by a federal jury of racketeering conspiracy and murder conspiracy. Brian Burke, the third defendant, was found not guilty of intimidating witnesses according to court authorities. A life sentence in jail is being considered for Ranieri. Folks might be sentenced to 60 years in jail. Folks was found guilty of sexually abusing the victim's wife and threatening to denounce her husband to the police while he was being assaulted at the clubhouse. Coming in at number 4 is Michael Mahoney. U.S. Attorney Philip A. Talbert announced today that 30-year-old Fairfield resident Michael Mahoney was sentenced to 3 years and 1 month in prison for having a weapon with an obliterated or changed serial number and possessing an unregistered short-barreled shotgun. Court records showed that on December 8, 2021, police searched Mahoney's residence as part of an investigation into a severe assault at the Vallejo branch of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club. Mahoney and other Hells Angels members attacked 2 victims in October 2021 for what they believe to be rule violations on the part of the victims' motorcycle club, which is considered a puppet or subordinate club of the Hells Angels. Moving on to number 3 is Nicholas Alexander Aguan. Defendant Nicholas Alexander Aguan, 34, of Stockton, California, was sentenced to 80 months in prison by the District Court of Guam, according to a press release from the United States Attorney for the Districts of Guam and the Northern Mariana Islands a few months ago. Aguan was found guilty of conspiring to distribute 50 or more grams of methamphetamine hydrochloride. The judge also imposed a required special assessment charge of $100 and 5 years of supervised release. Stay tuned to the video as we're going to discover how a former Rhode Island Hells Angels commander ended up in handcuffs and facing a 5-year prison sentence. The next one on the list is George Christie. According to his lawyer, former Hells Angels commander George Christie Jr. was given a sentence of 10.5 months in jail for his role in the 2007 bombing of 2 tattoo parlors in Ventura. According to Christie's lawyer, Michael Mayock, Christie, 66, will start serving his term in roughly 2 months. A plea deal and sentence paperwork from U.S. District Court Judge Wu are under seal. Christie and 3 others were detained in 2011 on suspicion of involvement in the bombings of 2 tattoo parlors on Main Street, Scratch the Surface and Twisted Ink. Christie, who owned the competing Ventura tattoo parlor, the Ink House at the time, was president of the local Hells Angels chapter. According to Mayock, Christie was charged with 8 counts of extortion and use of explosives, but only pleaded guilty to 1. In the top spot, we have Joseph Lancia, the 5-year prisoner. About 4 years ago, Joseph Lancia became the leader of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club in Rhode Island. His 5-year jail term began last year when he was carried out of a Providence Superior courtroom in handcuffs. Smithfield resident Lancia, 30, pleaded not guilty to felony assault and battery and unlicensed gun possession last month. As part of the agreement, the more severe charges of discharging a firearm during a violent crime and assault with intent to commit murder were dropped. Lancia is also accused of shooting at a vehicle driven by Richard Starnino, a former prospect to join the motorcycle gang who has been embroiled in an ongoing disagreement with Lancia in June of 2019. Video surveillance footage, according to investigators, shows Lancia firing at the vehicle as Starnino drives past the Hells Angels Providence headquarters on Messer Street. The clubhouse's own security camera captured the crucial video evidence used to convict Lancia. He is currently serving time in prison for his crime. Their stories of bloodshed, treachery, and criminal escapades have finally caught up with them, and now they must deal with the fallout. From behind bars, we can see the tragic consequences of following their example. What are your views on these members? Do let us know your opinions in the comments below.